Hey guys, Rhett here. What is going on? Thanks for watching. I want to address a question I get very often, and that is, how do you screen Section 8 tenants? How do you make sure that the tenant that's going to move into your unit is going to be a good tenant? And the biggest misconception about Section 8 tenants is that you're going to get a tenant, they're going to move into your unit, and you're going to get guaranteed rent forever, and that's going to be that. And the other misconception is, on the other side of that point, every Section 8 tenant is bad, and they're going to destroy my unit. And very, very similar to cash tenants. You have really good people, and you have not so good people. And you have people that treat your units well, and you have people that don't treat your units well. And that's why screening people, whether you screen people in the Section 8 program or screen cash tenants, is extremely important. Now, we have a lot more recourse with Section 8. So if a Section 8 tenant does destroy our unit, we can go after their voucher forever to make sure they can never rent on the program again. So there's a lot more for that person to lose if they do destroy a unit that they're renting from us, which is great, gives us a lot of leverage. Now, with that being said, we still have to screen tenants and be very, very thorough and thoughtful in how we do it. So with our teams, we make sure, of course, we have our property management companies in-house that we own, that we can control. If you want to work with us, drop me an email, which is in the description below. We can get started. We'll do this thing together. But you have to make sure that your property management company is very, very in-depth with the screening process of what they're looking at with these tenants, making sure they're looking at the right things, making sure they're not getting sidetracked by the wrong things when screening these tenants. So making sure your management company is extremely, extremely well-versed in Section 8 and the tenants that you're dealing with on a daily basis. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that when you are doing background checks on your tenants and you're doing their credit checks, you're not putting too much of an emphasis on their credit. A lot of people do not have great credit who are on the program. You have to understand that credit scores below 600 are very, very common, and it doesn't mean much, especially when they're not paying for their rent. Their rent is coming from the government. So the actual credit score should not mean a ton to you when they have a voucher that's covering all of the rent every single month. What we do look for in that credit check is evictions. We look for other things in that check. Of course, in that background check, we'll get the evictions that come up if there are any. If there are any evictions, absolutely no way, sorry, thanks, goodbye. Same thing with any kind of violent crime, violent history, violent felonies. No way, see you. We do not want that in our unit. We do want to make sure that we're still putting, good people in these units. So how do we check? How do we verify? We want to talk to your current landlord. Where do you currently live? Let's talk to that landlord. How does this person take care of the unit? How do they care for their unit? Have you ever had problems with them? Have they ever had people over to the house that shouldn't be there? Another thing we do, if they're working, we're checking with employers. We want to know how long they've worked their current job. What kind of person are they? And when we start asking those questions, you start creating the outline of that person. Now, one thing that we do too, when we meet these tenants, they come to drop off their applications in person. It gives us the ability to get a read on them. We see them at a showing for the unit. We might do multiple showings at the unit with them in person, and then they'll come to the office once or twice as well, drop off their paperwork. We might help them fill out their paperwork. We get a read on them. Are they going to be a good tenant? Maybe. What's going on? It allows us to see them face to face. It is not purely an online situation. We want to see them. We want to meet them. We want them in front of us, sitting a couple feet away, to judge what kind of character they have, how they communicate, and how they might be treating our unit. Plus all the background and all the legwork that goes into that screening process. So can you choose a bad Section 8 tenant for your unit? 100%. Can you also choose a bad cash tenant that pays $20,000 a month for a rental property? 100%. There are bad apples on both sides, whether you're Section 8 or cash. The screening process is extremely, extremely important. Now, a lot of management companies don't even want to deal with Section 8 because it's a lot of work to screen tenants. And that's why for my clients, we take care of all that. We're going to do all that screening. We know what to look for. We know what's important in those background checks and in those credit checks. We've seen so many applications at this point in time that we just can say, hey, no way on this person. Hey, absolutely, this is fantastic. Another thing that helps too, when you have property management companies in-house, if somebody applies for a unit and maybe they apply for a 3-bedroom, but it's a 4-bedroom voucher or a 5-bedroom voucher, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a 3-bedroom. I actually need a 4 or 5-bedroom. We can say, well, hey, we have 4 bedrooms here. We have 5 bedrooms here. As long as they pass that check and we can see into their background and we know that they are going to be a good tenant, we can place them in one of our units, which is great. And in that big Rolodex of tenants and applications, we might have people apply. We might do all of that vetting, and it gives us also perspective on what the market needs. We start getting a lot of applications for people that need 6-bedroom houses. We know, hey, we need to start putting out as a group more 6 bedrooms. That way we can tell our clients, hey, there's a very high demand for 6 bedrooms. Same thing goes for 2 bedrooms. We start getting a lot of 2-bedroom applications. So being able to see those applications doesn't always just tell you one thing. It also gives you more data on the markets that then helps other clients in what to buy, where to buy, and how to buy. But the more questions you ask in the screening process, the better. How long have you lived where you live now? If it's a year, why is it just a year? Oh, I'm getting tired of the unit. We don't want to hear that. It's, oh, I've been there for 5 years. My daughter's going to school over here. I want to be closer to the school. Great, perfect answer, because we don't want that person moving into our unit and then moving out after a year, right? So we want to make sure that everything that we're doing for our unit is in the best interest of the owner, of the client, of us. And in doing so, the more in-depth we can get into those background checks to screen these tenants, just like we would with cash, is what we're going to do. We're not saying, hey, this person has a voucher, they're Section 8, throw them in the unit. We absolutely do not want to do that. We want to get a good understanding of who they are, what they do, and if they're going to be a partner for us for the next 10, hopefully 20 years in our unit. Guys, please leave questions, comments on that below. Would love to talk to you about it, how you vet your tenants, what things that you might want to add to that, or what you're not doing that you need to start doing. So please drop those questions, comments in the description below, and we'll see you next time.